Good morning. It looks a bit crooked today. There we go. Good morning, Michelle House here from Rich Living, notifying me that I'm live. Michelle House here from Rich Living, and welcome to High Vibes at 5:55. Good morning. I can see you coming through. That's awesome. Hello. Awesome. All right. So today we're going to go a little bit deeper. We always go deep, don't we? But in this short period of time, I want to talk about, I've got my notes here. I want to talk about believing to receive. You remember that saying, I'll believe it when I see it? And we heard a lot of that when we were growing up. I won't believe it until I see it. Here's something that I know about the law of attraction and the way that the law of attraction works. Good morning, Robin. Hello, how are you? I knew I missed you yesterday. So let's talk about the law of attraction for a moment. The law of attraction is all about the other way around. So, you know, this past mindset that we have with, so let me just read you a piece from here. And I'm just reading this one, raise your vibration. We're always convinced that we're separate from everything else, but we're not. All of the world's great spiritual teachers will tell you that you are one with everything. People used to say to me, especially when I was starting out, I'll believe it when I see it, but they got it all wrong. The truth of the matter is you will receive what you seek when you believe it already. And it's moving, and we've been talking a bit about money shame. Good morning, everyone. We've been talking a bit about money shame and the shameful feelings that we have around being in debt or not telling our partners everything we should tell them about the money, or you know, the fear around opening things up. And when we keep moving in with that vibration of fear, that's what's happening. We believe we're in trouble. We believe that we're never going to get out of it. We believe that this is the end of the world and there's no solution. And we get stuck in believing that. And we need to turn that belief around and believe other ways. Believe, you know, the beautiful question, have I got my diary here? I do. The beautiful question here, what else is possible? What else is possible? That will change your vibe. See how I did that? That will raise your vibe, and it will change what you start to see coming into you. So if you are constantly in the space of, it's not going to work, this is terrible, it's not going to work, it's not going to work, you know, negative thinking, I guess. If you're always negatively thinking about that situation, that's what's going to happen. So you need to take one little something to change that vibe and to start to turn it around for you. And the best question I find is to ask, what else is possible? What else is possible here? You know, here I am, I'm sitting here and all of my bills are everywhere and I'm not making enough money and there's too much money's going out, not enough money's coming in. I need some help here. Universe, God, something, show me a sign. What else is possible? And taking those quiet moments, and I shared all these with you last week with those daily practices, the 5 daily practices. You could go check them on the Facebook page. When you are doing those daily practices and then you ask that question, what else is possible? You can actually have the noise stops, like all of that white noise that's going on in your head about pay the bill, do the grocery shopping. Oh my God, what are we going to do? We haven't paid off the house yet. No, credit card, blah, blah, blah. We owe my money. And oh my God, I forgot to tell Jonathan that I bought this and that, and blah, blah, blah. All that white noise about the money and the fear, it starts to dissipate a little bit when you're doing those daily practices. So when you're doing the daily practices and you're grounding and you're breathing and you're bringing a sense of peace and a sense of calm into your situation, then asking the question, what else is possible? An answer will come to you that you haven't thought about before. Something will happen and you'll go, oh my God, why have I never thought about that before? That would be a really easy way for me to deal with that. Or what else is possible? If you're somebody who isn't making the phone calls to people to sort out new arrangements with people about money, maybe that's your what else is possible. What else is possible? I'm looking at all of these bills and statements and I can see I've written down all my income and I've written down all my expenses. I know math. I know that that's not working, and I'm not getting a balanced figure here. What else is possible? I could ring around today and see if I could get a better deal on my electricity. Or I could do this today. Or I could ask somebody in the Rich Living Room group, how did they deal with it? And I could take a little bit of that and go, I wonder what else is possible with that. That's really interesting to handle it like that. This is the week. This week, I don't know why I do this stuff. This is the week of money shame. We're talking about it. Okay, so if you are not talking about money, if you are embarrassed, humiliated, guilty, all of those feelings, if you are any of those feelings around money, I want you to share it in the Rich Living Room group. Number one, that is going to be part of you letting go and releasing and feeling a little bit lighter just by you putting your hand up and saying, hello, I've got a problem. There is no judgment. All that's in that group are people willing to support and encourage and uplift and help everybody have a soul-filled, rich life. I listened to, let me see if I can find it easily on my phone. I was listening to a podcast. I'm pretty sure it was Chrissy Swan was interviewing this guy. I'll talk about this tomorrow. We'll actually go and talk a bit deeper about it tomorrow. He was talking about, he wasn't the keeping up with the Joneses type. He was the Joneses. And he knew that they were living beyond their means, and they renovated. And anyway, there's a whole story. But the foundation of what happened to him and the decision that he made all came from money shame, because he was embarrassed, because he was humiliated. So in this story, I'll share some more about the story tomorrow. In his story, he actually went to jail. He went to jail because he could not talk about his money shame. There's a whole lot to the story, but I want you to think about that for a moment. This suffocates people because we can't talk about it. We need to move on from that. This is something we need to talk about. Just like we are talking about domestic violence, just like we are talking about suicide, money shame is something that we need to be talking about. And it's not good enough to be going, I can save 4 cents on my petrol. That's helpful at some point. Maybe. It doesn't help me, but maybe for somebody that is helpful. What's more helpful is having the conversation and having a group of like-minded people who are not judging you, to support you and uplift you and help you move through it. It's what alcoholics have to do. They have to stand up there and go, you know what, I'm embarrassed, I'm an alcoholic. I'm embarrassed. I've got this credit card debt and I don't know how to pay it off. Can somebody please guide me here? You need to start talking about it. I'm sick of not talking about it. And we're going to talk about it so much. I'm going to put together a training. We'll do a training. Yes, Simone. Money shame can be a big part of suicide, which is the driver for me. This is the driver for me to have this conversation. Our men, our beautiful husbands, our beautiful partners work their asses off for us. We do too, but I'm talking about the men for a moment. They don't want to talk about them not being man enough, not strong enough, not capable enough, not responsible enough. And they're the people that we need to be having these conversations with as their women. Stepping up and having these conversations with them. If you're in a place, thanks, Joe. If you're in a place where you have the McMansion and the swimming pool and the BMWs and all of the stuff, right? Yet every time you walk in the house, you're filled with, oh my God, how are we paying for this? Or you and your husband aren't communicating, you're fighting, there's tension. There's something going on. And I guarantee you it's to do about the money that you're spending and that you're not being able to afford what it is that you are doing. So what is it that you can do about money shame? Yes, your own. We all have it from time to time. It'll come up. I still have little things that come up where, whoa, that was really interesting. I remembered when that happened when I was a kid. And I saw what happened to Mum and she was so embarrassed and she was so and humiliated. I must be feeling some of that. So money shame comes up all the time. It's not something that you write it down, done, moving on, and you're a big grown-up now. It's not like that. It's a constant conversation. And we need to be having this conversation. We you're all, I know you're all in here regularly. I can see a lot of you that are in here regularly. I'm on my Ranty Pants page and I'm not even sitting down. I've got my Ranty Pants on. But seriously, you know, all jokes aside, money shame ends people's lives. From suicide to this fellow that I listened to yesterday who ended up in prison, white collar worker. It's really something that we need to be talking about. Anyway, so I'm going to put together some, I have already put together some training. I think that's why it's becoming such a, for me this week. We'll do that next Tuesday. So I'll share that event around. You don't have to, there's no opt-in or anything like that. This is just a free webinar to help you start having these conversations with people about money. If you guys start talking about it, everybody else starts talking about it. You know, it's very similar to the depression, Beyond Blue, you know, Rise Up and Share the Dignity. It's the conversation. We've got to keep this conversation going. Okay, thank you for listening. So for those of you that are that have pre-ordered the planner via Kickstarter, I have a so we didn't reach the 20,000 goal, which is fine because I'm just sharing this link with you now. That was a really great feasibility study for me to see what the marketplace is like, who's really interested in this stuff. So it was an excellent exercise from a business perspective. We do have another way to order it, okay? So we've created, beautiful Michaela has created another way for us to pre-order the planner. We've got, so if you want to click on that link, the $55 planner will be there plus the $77 bundle. So that's what you'll find in there. Go ahead, pre-order in there, and we will get cracking with the planners. So awesome. Thank you for joining me this morning. I will get some more information about that interesting story I listened to yesterday, and we can talk a bit more about it. But just going back to what I started with was law of attraction. We need to be putting out the positive vibe to be getting back the positive vibe. And this is a way that we can be doing that. See you. Have a good day.